Good Monday afternoon, gentlemen. Tis your host, the commish, Thrills Alexander, whatever you know me as, right here to deliver the Week 4 Battle of the Leagues preview show. All right, so as you just heard in the intro, a little wrestling themed intro each week right there. My wrestling fans know who it is. My other people, they have no idea, and that's okay because we know I love wrestling, and so like two other dudes. So it is what it is. Let's go ahead. Let's knock out last week real quick. Let's talk about the past before we go to the future here. Last week, wow, diggity dog. The Heaters just kicked the dicks, the collective dicks of the BFFL into the dirt. All right? Thrills, Ant, Code, B Green, Isotopes, Cease and Desist, Lollygags, and Glove smoked your asses to the tune of a combined 40 to 13 score cumulatively. You four just I literally rewind the tape to last week. I'm sitting here, oh, BFFL boys got an advantage. You know, the boys down south know what's up. Well, clearly the bulletin board material was delivered, and wow, that was just a stomping of drastic proportions. I mean, Anthony, especially, I got to say, you were playing the last place team and got thumped hard. We kind of expected to have that happen right there. Code and Thrills just, it was over by Wednesday. That day one of 1 for 29,000, that's hard to come back from. Cody, you put up a valiant effort all the way to the end, man. It was close in a couple categories, but you just couldn't do it for us. My predictions, much like the BFFL, were shitty. 1-6. Wowie wowzers. Wow. That is god awful. It's almost impossible to be worse than that. I'm going to try not to this week, but you never know how things are going to happen. Just like we never know how things are always changing here in the BFFL. We got hashtag wheeling and dealing central. We got the commish making trades with large annual deferrals. Curb your enthusiasm with Smell the Glove. Curb your enthusiasm with 2 snaps, a twist, and a kiss. I mean, we saw players flip flying every which way. And if you'll notice, it has been changed just a little bit. If you accept a trade, it will say for commissioner's approval. That's in a way that you're able to trade players and accept trades even if a guy's already played now. So it might delay getting the player on your team a little bit, but just last night, those 2 trades came through. I clicked accept, approve, and then bam, it was locked and loaded, and those players were on those individuals' teams this morning. So that is a slight tweak, but that just allows you guys to make trades anytime, and it doesn't matter. I just look at it and say, yep, approve. And when it's one of my trades, I'm going to click auto accept, then approve. So just know that is forthcoming. All right, but anyways, enough of the chit-chat, enough of the slander. Hopefully I can talk over these barking-ass dogs that are sure to make an appearance here in just a matter of moments. But let's get started here with large annual deferrals versus the shirt that I'm rocking now, the Isotopes. These were the Albuquerque Isotopes, but let's talk about the Springfield Isotopes. No wonder you want to trade no-hit Nolan right now. He's 0 for 17 last week. Only 2 players worth a damn offensively right now are Julio Rodriguez and Papa Bryce. Just became another dad. Had a baby today. Not out of himself, but his woman did. So without those 2 guys, wow, if something were to happen, shoo-wee, baby. I don't know, Davey. I don't know. But luckily, a 2.63 ERA plays every week. So do 8 dadgum wins. 8 wins. That's craziness right there. Having 8 wins in a week. We barely have starting pitchers going 5 innings to being eligible for a win. So to get 8 right there, that's freaking phenomenal, Isotopes. Large annual deferrals, like I mentioned earlier, you lost just a close, you've hard-fought battle. 3 total bases and 2 hits. You were 49 for 212. He was 51 for 215. So if you would have just gotten 2 more hits, you would have had more hits and less at-bats and taken the average as well as the total bases. So, That's going to sting a little bit right now. What's not stinging, though, is Nolan Arenado heating up and Acuna and Azuña just staying heating up, all right? Those three boys right there played so well last week. If they can just continue this trend, maybe spread the love a little bit amongst their teammates, that's going to be great. One of those new teammates maybe could be Vlad Guerrero. Who knows? It might even be Aroldis Chapman. Might even be Corey Seager. One of those guys that you've really recently acquired. Your pitching staff, minus Snell, could have won ERA last week. But, you had him just crapping the bed and really costing you. With all those things looking at, I see your team as being a victor this week, large annual deferrals, mainly because looking at Isotope's team, I see offensively it's the dredges. I know I mentioned earlier, but across the board team stat-wise, I look at it and I think it's one of the lowest performing offenses. So, Radwalk, you need to make some magic happen here. All right, speaking of a team that, needs to make some magic happen, let's look at Mr. Egghead. Mr. Egghead just has had such a rough go of it to start the season right there. 0-3, 14th place in the league. Too bad he did not play Curb Your Enthusiasm last week, because that team, you and him would have gone toe-to-toe. You might have had a chance to win. A sub-600 OPS, but 8 stolen bases, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Your pitching finally saw an uptick last week. Saw a lot of good ththings right there. Saw a good K per 9, ERA whip. So that, come on now. Come on. I'm hoping for you. I always wanted it to be the year of the cock, year of the stash, whatever it may be. This is looking like, man. No, it's not Mr. Egghead. It's Mr. Bonehead. I don't know. But for name's sake, I wish you would trade George Kirby to Billy Baseball, seeing how he's changed his name to Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's really good, so maybe you could get something good from Billy Baseball. Speaking of guys at 14th place, we're talking about the guys in 14th place last week. Lollygaggers, you have jumped all the way up to 10th. Good job for you. Last week, league high 9 dingers. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But somehow only 76 total bases. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. 76 total bases, but 9 home runs, so 40 total bases that were non-dingers, and you only had 34 hits to equal those 40 total bases. So it's either a homer or it's a slap single, it sounds like. Schwarb, one of those players, midseason form right there already. I mean, you just got to love seeing those numbers. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, and a 143 batting average. So Schwarb baby doing Schwarb baby things. You can always appreciate that. Each week when I talk about the Lollygaggers, I feel like I'm just mentioning the same guys over and over again. It's Bush, it's Tatis, it's Vinny P, and that didn't change last week. Those 3 guys just continued to just mash, do their job. Everybody looks at themselves. So I saw Michael Bush sitting at transaction trends and the top of the waiver wire, but I just, just blah, 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 blah. Damn it, we cost ourselves a good player. Mainly me. I could have used a third baseman. Yandy Diaz is horse shit. Did you finally get a True Ace and gas can, or is Cutter for real? I don't know, but that trade got gas can for Isaac Paredes and whatever. If gas can's healthy, could be steals, could be stealish. What will be stealish though is you stealing a win. I can't justify picking Egghead until he actually picks up a victory for himself. So sorry, Egghead, can't go with you. Somebody's picked up plenty of dubs recently. That's the number 3 team in the league, first place, tied in the BFFL. That's off constantly. So Tim Savdog, 2-1 now. I love it. Making plenty of moves, and one of those moves he needs to be making is a congratulatory pat on the back for having the huevos to draft Ellie De La Cruz and pay that much for him, because man, he's so damn awesome. I just love what I've seen with Savdog's team right there, in that middle infield. I mean, my God. It's a thing future All-Star games are made of. I love it. It's beautiful. I want some of it, Savage. Please, please, please let me know what I have to do to get either one of those players. I noticed that outfield is weak. Wilson Contreras, a catcher, did the work of your outfield. Outfield 17 total bases. William Contreras had 11 all by himself over the course of the week. That's ouchy. That's real ouchy right there. Might want to upgrade there. That could inquire. Just saying. Some good outfielders. I'm not using this as a trade podium and take advantage of the league. I'm just saying you've got great players on your team, Savage, and your pitching and offense seem to be clicking right now, which is nice for you because you're playing against the only team that is undefeated, and that's Cease and Assist. I mentioned 9 home runs was the top last week. Well, Cease came in at 8, but he had dang near 90 total bases if my stats are correct. And his home runs, they came from an assortment of players. Gunnar Henderson, Mike Trout, Eloy Eloy Jimenez? Eloy Jimenez actually played a full slate's worth of games over like 5 days and hit a home run and didn't pull a hamstring or an oblique or a gluteus maximus. That's the impressive part, because without him, all he's really got going right there is some closers. This man just crushing closers with Clay Holmes, Ryan Helsley, Camilo Duvall. Man's got closers on lock. Leads the league in closing games closed all season right there. I wouldn't mind having some closers on my team, I'm not going to lie. Saves is kind of an important category. And with Frankie Montas being on the DL now for the 4th year in a row, it's good to see your ERA, WHIP, and K per 9 will all be taking advantage, because, wow, that injury last week just devastated some of those stats, and could have kept an easier victory at hand, but with those stats, it kind of hurts you. I do not think it's going to have an effect on you this week. With him being on the DL, obviously he can't do anything. I do think he'll beat Savage to go to 2-2 for Savage, and 4-0 for cease and desist. I predict you to continue to stay undefeated. All right, next up, we got Fat Bottom Girls versus the Commish. Fat Bottom Girls, those were some badass pitching stats last week, man. 189 ERA, .94 WHIP, 1032 K per 9. Just wowie wow. As I said earlier, I'm saying wow a lot at this episode because we've had a lot of wow things. It's just impressive to make sure everyone understands those numbers. Hard to beat anytime. Matt Olson couldn't even beat that with his batting average. He didn't even bat 189 last week. Or, wait, was that last week? Last month. Let me phrase that for you. Last month. Matt Olson, Evan Carter, Nelson Velasquez, all dudes that are supposedly good baseball players. 4 for 47 last week for Rymart. Could have truly cost him. Against Funky Cheese at the time. Now curb your enthusiasm. Even bench Matt Olson in the evening time. I didn't really understand that move. I think you were already losing batting average, but who really knows why that might have transpired. I just got to say, I would prefer your batting average and everything, your batting stats look like your pitching stats, and your pitching stats to look, well, just worse than mine, so I can have a chance to beat you, because my team has just been so up and down. It's amazing that this team has 2 victories on the year. The Commish, offensively, acquiring Freddie Freeman is going to help out some consistently wise, but did sacrifice future stats with Vladdy and Corey Seager right there in exchange for Freddie Freedog. Can't be too disappointing, though, because, well, it's Freddie Freeman. I can still rock a Braves jersey with that every once in a while. Commish's pitching was just so fucking awful last week with a 4.56 ERA. Almost anybody else in the league would have beaten him with those stats, as you've heard me read out earlier today. We've got some bangers from last week. Pitching's going well, except for, when you try to spot start and it's a spot shart. Needless to say, though, I expect the Commish to pick up a dub here against Fat Bottom Girls, strictly because nobody rebounds better than the Andy Reid of fantasy baseball players, which is me. So I'm saying Commish picks up a dub, comes off a loss with a win. All right, moving on to, it's looking like we got 2 snaps and a twist versus Moneyball. Speaking of teams, going from isotopes, not isotopes, that's what I'm reading on my jersey, going from the Commish to a team that was just like him last week. Undefeated, and we're going to 2 snaps because that's what happened. Just expected a victory and got dominated. What happened, man? What happened? You're lucky you bought, well, I guess not lucky because I was premeditated to purchase him, but I'm be glad that you have Shohei Ohtani, because he was 10 for 21, and your team needed all 10 of those hits, his 1 home run, his 3 RBIs, his 3 stolen bases, because nobody else really did shit on your team last week. It was embarrassing. Trading Jordan Westburg, a young middle infielder, for a 55, 57, 63-year-old Justin Verlander just coming off an injury. That's confidence. That's confidence in oneself. Will it come back and bite you in the hind skips? I don't know. But Justin Verlander is a proven asset. Jordan Westburg, not so much. Could just be a hot streak. Like, Tanner Houck. Oh, shit. Is that what I'm seeing here? We got some commonalities here. Are they the same players? The pitching staff at the young Red Sox pitching at the top. Wow. It's just really good. And Anthony, you got a piece of it. So be thankful. All right. Moneyball. Same line, different week. Lots of home runs, lots of RBIs. Pretty crappy average, pretty crappy OPS. Around 225 and 686, 696. Francisco Lindor, he didn't want to take any part of that. He did for the first 3 weeks, bringing that down. This week he said, no, no, no. No, no, no. I'm going to bat 346, and I'm going to show this guy, John, that I'm really got an attempt to be half as good as Trey Turner this year. Because that 346 line wasn't even, woo, baby. I wasn't no Trey Turner line last week. All right. But it is helpful that, Francisco's getting a little help from, Anthony Santander, and that's about it. Everybody else, under an OPS, along with Adolis, under 188 average. 188 average. Those, Adolis, Anthony Santander, Francisco Lindor, only guys with an average over 188 last week. You can't help but laugh about that. That's how you become a middling team, and that's going to struggle to pick up dubs. Moneyball, I don't expect you to pick up one this week. I expect 2 snaps, a twist, and a kiss to pick up that dub. All right, move. 2 matchups to go. We got Curb Your Cheese versus Smell the Glove. Curb Your Cheese, 224.99, 979 usually equals a win in this league. 18 runs, 64 total bases, a 208 average usually equals a loss. You got the short end of the stick last week with those stats because those are all straight from your team, man. That, when you look at it like that, that's what's going to happen. You're going to win some of those, you're going to lose some of those when that happens, especially if you only got 64 total bases. That's less than, 7 a day, 9 a day. Right at 9 a day if you want to be mathematically correct. So, but in all fairness, you did what any good manager does. Wheel and deal, get them out, get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out, get them in. Acquiring C.J. Abrams, acquiring Nolan Jones, acquiring Jordan Westburg. So the man went offense, trying to fix those errors. That's what good managers do. Something else good managers do is what Smell of the Glove did, is, knocking 100, run around 100 total bases, top an OPS over 800, had 35 RBIs. Only team in the league last week did not accomplish one of those things, not accomplish 2 of those things, but to accomplish all 3 of those things. Wow, I wish any other team would lose to Smell the Glove last week. Couldn't have traded C.J. Abrams any sooner. I mean, I'm just going to say it for the commission's point of view, which is me. That fucking sucks. Only reason you didn't dominate even more against the commission last week, though, the glove, Jordan Wicks throwing 102 miles an hour for 5 innings, can't strike out one single person. Are you shitting me? That's ridiculous. But I appreciate giving me a pity category and letting me win K per 9. This week, Billy can make 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 more trades. It's not going to matter. I'm predicting Smell the Glove to pick up the dub. Which brings us to our last matchup. And predictably, at this point in time, possibly our easiest matchup. That'll Do Pig versus Almost Made a Sale. Almost Made a Sale, that's just back-to-back beatdowns for B Green. More stolen bases and home runs. Adley's doing his part, but with, getting a little help from Boba Shit over here and this scrub guy pick up for a couple of days over here. Just not getting any consistency across the board. Doesn't matter who it is. Really need Yamamoto to start not playing like, damn it. There was a pun in there. I fucked it up. Sorry about that. But point of the story, Yamamoto's playing like shit and B Green needs him to play better. That would be very helpful for B Green. He is getting paid like 50 mil, 75 mil? Come on, Yamamoto. All right. That'll Do Pig, though. You'll be a formidable foe for B Green this week because, well, he might actually win a couple categories, seeing as how you only hit 1 home run all of last week. If you do that again, I know B Green can hit more than 1 home run in a week and potentially catch you. But with that 1 home run, you managed 29 RBIs and over 70 total bases. So a team that had 9 home runs earlier had 76 total bases. You had 1 home run and had equal basage. That shows the team's getting some doubles, some triples. Not all balls need to go over the ball. Not all balls need to go over the wall. OPS needs some help ASAP. Offense clearly tried to, they were only good for 1 game. They couldn't just continue to say, hey, Thrills, I heard you smack talk me. I'm going to keep playing good. No, they had 1 good week in them, and they used it all up. But luckily, Trey Turner, as I mentioned earlier, he's there doing his share. 12 for 26 last week. He's, take some of my total bases. Here you go, spreading the wealth. Take some of my average to try to help those bums out. They won't need it this week. That'll Do Pig is going to pick up the dub in the Battle of the League. So we got the commish, large annual deferrals, 2 snaps. That'll Do Pig, Lollygaggers, Cease, and Glove picking up dubs this week. Hope you enjoyed this 20-minute monologue from yours truly, the commish, Thrills. Until next time, have a good night and peace out.